Friday night rant. I want to talk about roaches in the restaurant. Roaches in the restaurants. I just seen on the news, I think it was yesterday, on the news wire, well, Popeye's restaurant in Memphis has been shut down due to roaches. And I thought about a video that went viral a few years ago of a young lady reporting rodents. I think it was rats, mice or something at a Popeye restaurant, and they got shut down. I travel for a living, and I go to different restaurants. But you don't have to travel to see stuff. You just have to be a person that pay attention to detail like I do. I don't go just anywhere to eat. I'm very picky. Sometimes you just can't avoid going to restaurants and stuff like that, especially restaurants that have a name, large chain restaurant, considered fast food chicken place. But all you have to do is be a person that pay attention to stuff. There's no surprise that roaches are in restaurants, rodents. Now you have managements that neglect the restaurants. The restaurant's supposed to be serviced every 3 to 4 months or however is required by law. And then some restaurants been in business for years and they seem to be able to get away with neglecting to get the restaurant service, scheduling it. In Memphis, Tennessee, there is a big problem. Rodents in restaurants. Now, I'm not going to put all the blame on management. I'm not talking about store managers, which they play a part too, but I'm going to get to them. But I'm talking about the higher ups, corporate people. Whatever district they in or whatever, they all still supposed to manage those restaurants, right? Service, But that seems like that is lacking in the restaurant industry. They get away with a whole lot of neglect. They do that. But I want to talk about the roaches that work at the restaurants. Yeah, it's a Friday night rant. I'm talking about the roaches too that works at the restaurants. Lazy. Dope smoking. Don't want to do no but ride the clock restaurant roaches. Ghetto roaches. They drag into work, have attitudes, don't speak to nobody, don't want to take the orders. All they want to do is just ride the clock flirt around with the girls and boys and mess with their phones all while they working. I go to restaurants. Most restaurants, you go to a fast food restaurant, check the lobbies out. Check the lobbies out. The lobbies be filthy. They don't ever clean the tables. They don't sweep the floors. They don't do anything. The restaurants just go down, down, down. Every once in a while, especially if I'm a traveling person, every once in a while you go to a restaurant where you'll see an employee when it's slow in the lobby cleaning up, actually cleaning the tables and sweeping the floor. You every once in a while you'll see that. It's been so long, it's been years since I seen that. And last person I seen there was an older black woman. She worked the cashier at a Wendy's down in Alabama. At the truck stop in Birmingham, she worked in the Wendy's. She worked in the cashier. Then when she got done with me, or before I came in, when I walked, she was in the lobby, in the dining room area, wiping the tables, cleaning up. These younger people that work in these restaurants, they don't do that. They don't do anything. And you work back there behind it, in the back, just look at them restaurants, look at their floors. They filthy. Food on the floor all day long, 2 or 3 days. They don't ever take the time to clean up good. I had worked in a restaurant business years, a long time ago when I was a teenager coming up. I got a job working at the Shoney's. When Shoney's was big around Memphis, South Haven area, I worked at two Shoney's. The one on Elvis Presley, near Graceland, that used to be there. And I worked at the one on State Line Road. There's now a liquor store in South Haven. When I took that work there as a busboy, that especially the manager at South Haven, she was surprised the way I cleaned up. I got down when the store closed at night, all the servers, all of them were gone. I would clean. I got down and cleaned up under the stuff, swept. I'm not a clean freak, but my house is not filthy. I don't allow that. My kids' room are a little tacky, but as far as filth, nasty kitchen, nastiness everywhere, food 2 and 3 days old and stuff like that, I don't play that. Go to most Waffle House, look in the back. Food be piled up for ages up under that stuff. They don't clean these restaurants, and the restaurants don't require, these people. And these people are lazy that work in restaurants. Go look at the way most of these people working in these restaurants, look at the way they live. They don't care about nothing. They filthy. They filthy. The younger generation, filthy. My black folks, just tell the truth, black people, lazy, filthy. White people ain't too far behind them, right there with them, depending on where you go. Low quality people, don't want to work, just to get a check. Ain't gonna do nothing extra. Drag in right at work time, then be ready to leave. Won't speak to you, won't greet you. Get your order on, then you almost be not want to say nothing, not out of being scared, but just the total lack of respect that come from behind the counter. Granted, customer can be and are rude. But that's another topic. But I want to talk about the roaches working in a restaurant. That's why these restaurants get shut down. That's why they are filthy. It take a lot willing people. Everybody pushing, everybody kicking food under, ain't nobody taking the time to sweep up, to clean. Won't put food up properly. Nobody dedicated to doing their job in the restaurant industry. Even the managers, most of them the same. Young, don't care, scared to say something to the young people, the younger people, and they just to get old. What you expect? Go to their house. They lazy. Cars. Look at their cars. They can't hardly get in their cars. So they bring this stuff right on to the where they work. You're gonna see the stuff. You see it. Laziness. Roaches. Lazy roaches working in these restaurants. That's where a lot of it coming from. I don't run it. I don't run in every restaurant and eat restaurants. That's what the issue. Staff, the ones that work in the place every day. Look at the way they live. Look at the way they carry themselves. Hood, ghettoish, men, boys and girls, men and women. No professionalism. All of them seem to want to smoke dope and be gang members, be everything. You hardly ever go to a restaurant and get good customer service and they greet you. But go to most restaurants now, them young girls, most restaurants you go to, you're gonna get a girl, a woman, female working at the cash. How often do you get greeted? Hello, how you doing, sir? You walk up here and they'll just sit there. Won't ask you if you're ready, and they'll just sit there. Look at you crazy. You don't know if they're ready to take your order or not. I mean, you sit there. Then sometimes you walk up and you ready up and they get mad. Oh, wait a minute, I'm doing something. No etiquettes. They need to make these people take classes. People that have to work in the industry where they have to deal with people on a regular basis, every day, you need to learn how to take cashier, learn how to take etiquette classes. When you work in a place you deal with customer service, you supposed to greet the customers with a hello, sir. Hey, how you doing? Can I help you? My wife work at for Kroger's customer service. You supposed to, when you work in customer, you supposed to greet the customers with a smile. You got to have no long conversation with them, but customer service is number one. You're supposed to make the people feel welcome when they come in your store. In the store. You can attract customers or you can drive them away. Look at the review. Customer service bad. Ooh, they don't know how to act. That stuff go. People looks at that and they dodge restaurants. Simply because the way people act. Ain't nobody gonna go in there but the people that act like them, ghetto people. People with common sense and a little bit of class, they gonna stay away from them places. I go to restaurants and you can look at it, you can look around them lobbies, you can tell a lot of this stuff on them tables and on them floors been there, if not 2 or 3 days, all day that day. They just wipe the table off and keep going. Ain't nobody dedicated to go to, yeah, they don't pay me to do that, they don't pay me to do this, don't want to work. I can't really operate in field. I drive a truck. Sometimes my cab get a little tacky. But for too long, I'm going to clean it up. It's not filthy. Ain't nothing where I just can't get a bag and put stuff in, then my cab be organized again. But a lot of truck drivers out there, they live in filth. Have roaches, rodents in their trucks. I don't see how people live like that in their houses. Hoarders. Can't live like that. Car. Can't hardly get in and out their car. Filth. People live in filth. I can't understand it. I'm not a clean freak. But I can't operate in filth. Go with people's houses. They live comfortably with roaches. Roaches everywhere. They live comfortably. And be inviting people to their houses. I can't live like that. Roaches crawling everywhere. I remember when we were younger, me and my wife, we moved into apartments on Mill Branch in Winchester, in Memphis. Mill Branch Apartments. When we first moved in, roaches was everywhere. The people lied. Showed us an apartment that was good, And we were moved in. I searched the apartment over, opened the closet door, and on that, roaches was everywhere. I'm the type of person, that's what I do. I search around, roaches went everywhere. I had no other choice but to move on in. But I didn't sleep. When my kids lay down and went to sleep for a while, I didn't sleep. But I went right, But the day we moved in, I think it was, I went right on to Home Depot somewhere and bought some stuff. And I went around that apartment. The stuff was come in a package. Good stuff. I took the socket facings off the wall and squirted that stuff in the walls. All around the apartment. And wasn't too long, a couple weeks, I saw the results. My apartment was roach free. I had placed a barrier around my apartment. It took a couple weeks to get them all out. It wasn't really bad where they were overrunning, but, I had them. First thing I did was put the stuff in the wall. Then I started spraying stuff in it, putting a little, it's like the stuff that I use was the stuff, I think the pest control people, not the spray stuff, but the type of gel type of stuff that come in tubes. The tubes ain't very big. I had to buy about 5 or 6 of them. But it worked. It attracted the roaches to it, and once they get in it, it neutralized. And I put the stuff in the wall. Now imagine living in an apartment complex. The apartment complex had to be roaches everywhere. My wife will tell you, as I did that, our apartment was roach free. Yeah, I got rid of them. But me and my wife, for the first few nights, when we were in the apartment, we didn't sleep, we let the kids sleep. I was busy watching them, make sure roaches and stuff weren't crawling on them. But that's stuff you have to do. But you got lazy people who ain't gonna take no steps to do anything. If I worked in a restaurant, you're gonna see a difference. It's gonna be clean. You have to be that type of minded person. Like neatness, like cleanliness. Can't clean it. Filth ought to be something that you despise. And I'm glad I don't work in a restaurant industry where I had to deal with other people every day. But Lord knows that, boy, if I had to do them type of job, I'd probably be homeless somewhere. You know, the way society is now, you work with people, you try to clean up a unit, they don't want it, they get cussed out and get attacked for just, saying anything to people nowadays. Why don't you clean this up? No, why don't you do this right? You can't make it hard and say nothing to nobody. Roaches working at the restaurants.